Peace and blessings be upon you, and a very warm welcome to this new explainer. Today we are going to be tackling a question that for so many people feels like a really deep and painful mystery.
So let's just jump right into it. How is it possible that a region can be absolutely overflowing with resources and potential, but at the same time struggle so much with poverty? It's a huge contradiction, right? It's the central mystery we're going to investigate together today. And that contradiction, well, that brings us to what you could call the great paradox. It's this really stark, almost unbelievable gap between what things are and what they should be. The best way to think about it is like this. It's almost like you're reading a story about two completely different worlds, but they're coexisting in the very same location. One of those stories is about incredible, immense potential, and the other, well, it's about a much tougher reality. And this right here really lays out the two sides of that coin perfectly. I mean, look, on the one hand, you've got vast natural resources, a young, vibrant population full of energy, and just mind-boggling possibilities for growth. But then, you look at the other side, and the reality on the ground, it's defined by major economic challenges, very few opportunities, and the day-to-day struggle of just making ends meet. So the big question is, why is there such a huge disconnect between these two columns? So, if we're going to solve this puzzle, we have to start by looking at the pieces. What do we even mean when we say wealth? Let's unpack that a little because we need to understand the true scale of what we're talking about here. And that's such a crucial question, isn't it? Because wealth can mean so many different things. Is it just about having oil buried under the sand, or is there more to it? Well, the answer is a definite no. It's not just about oil. Of course, the natural resources are a huge part of it. The oil, the gas, the minerals. But it is so much more than that. It's the fertile land and precious water. It's being at a strategic crossroads of the world and natural bridge connecting continents. And maybe the most valuable, most important asset of them all is the human wealth, the sheer energy, the creativity, and the dreams of millions and millions of young people. Okay, so we've established the wealth is there, it's real, it's massive. So that leads us to the real mystery. Where does it all go? It's time to uncover the prime suspects behind this economic disappearing act. And our first, and you could argue our most important suspect, is mismanagement. This is the big one. This is the issue that can undermine absolutely everything else. So what are we really talking about with mismanagement? Well, it's the failure to use all those incredible resources we just listed efficiently. It's when leaders go for the quick, easy fix instead of building solid, long-term plans that will help not just us today, but our kids and grandkids tomorrow. It's basically squandering a golden opportunity. Now, here's the thing. Mismanagement rarely acts alone. It usually has a partner in crime, a culprit that is just as good at draining a country's potential. And that, of course, is corruption. This quote just hits the nail on the head. Think about it. Corruption is like a hidden tax that bleeds the system dry. It diverts all that wealth that should be going to schools, to hospitals, to building roads, and funnels it straight into private pockets. It makes sure that the prosperity never actually trickles down to the people who need it most. But the problems aren't always just internal. We have to look at the bigger picture. And our third suspect is an external force, one that operates on a global scale, the way the entire international economy is structured. Let me break down how this often works, because it's a trap. Step 1, a country exports its valuable raw materials, think crude oil or raw cotton, for a pretty low price. Step 2, that same country then has to import the finished products, like gasoline or t-shirts, made from its own resources, but at a much higher price. So what happens? Step 3 is the result, a massive trade gap that just constantly sucks wealth out of the country, no matter how rich in resources it is to begin with. So, we've looked at the evidence. We've identified our suspects. And all of this leads us to the climax, the part where we have to confront the core conclusion, even if it's a difficult one to hear. And there it is. That's the verdict. That is the bitter truth. Simply having wealth, having resources, having a young population, it's not enough. Those are just the ingredients. If you don't have the right recipe, you can't bake the cake. You can't create prosperity. So what is that recipe then? Well, true, lasting prosperity isn't something you just find or dig out of the ground. It's something you have to build. It's a whole system that needs good, efficient governance, a system of justice and fairness for everyone, and a clear, forward-thinking vision for the future.
And all of this brings us to our final and maybe our most important section. We've analyzed the problem. Now let's turn from just looking at it to thinking about what comes next. So this last question is for you. We've gone through all these different causes, the mismanagement, the corruption, the unfair global systems. So my question to you is, in your opinion, where does the change have to start? What's the #1 priority? Let us know what you think in the comments. Thanks so much for watching, and peace and blessings be upon you.